Welcome to Lined Musings. This video is an unboxing video of my new Sailor Protea Slim in the Meigetsu design. And it is one of the plainer colorways that I have in my collection. And I think that's just because I have kind of figured out the types of pens and colours that I would like to keep in my collection going forward, and this is one of them. So we've got these little flyers or pamphlets. I think there's like a warranty card in there and guidelines on how to ink up this pen. I've never really properly flipped through this because it's mostly in Japanese, but there's this page here and it's got, I guess, the evolution of the Sailor pens. I'm going to eventually get the 1911 at some point too. So yeah, I could understand this better if I used Google Translate, but I think it's quite self-explanatory. So it comes with 2 ink cartridges. I think they are just black, and the compartment has nothing else in it. So yeah, I guess here is the pen. So I mentioned earlier it is more of a plain neutral colorway, and this one is from the Sailor Shikiori 4 Seasons range. And the name is Meigetsu, which I believe translates to autumn moon, which I love because my birthday is in autumn and autumn is my favorite season, and who doesn't love a moon? Just trying to get this little label off the clip. And I'll try to get this to focus so you can see the color. It's an off-white, more like an ivory. And on the finial here we have the classic Sailor Anchor logo. And I'll just bring you closer so you can see the details on the cap. And I'm not sure if the camera is capturing it, but the body is very shimmery, really tiny shimmer particles in there, and it is so lovely. I just wish you could see it better. I also appreciate that the band, that color band there, is quite neutral. I'll just show you the nib here as well. I did get this pen in an extra fine. There we go. That took a while to focus. I need to play around with my camera settings, but I think you can see there. That's what the nib looks like. A beautiful shade of gold. And this has a 14K nib, just like most Protea Slims. Just trying to bring you closer so you can see the detail on the nib there. And it just says on the side EF for extra fine. We'll just open this up. I'm pretty sure it doesn't come with a converter. Yep, no converter. But yeah, I intend to always have this one inked up with black ink. It is an extra fine nib, so you're not going to get much in the way of shading if you're playing around with inks, and I wouldn't recommend popping in a shimmer ink in this pen either. And it is my first extra fine Sailor pen. I do have some Kavekos in extra fine as well, but the Japanese EF is definitely much thinner. So what I have here is my other 2 Sailor Protea Slims. We've got the Manyo Nuts and also the Grateful Crane. This one here is in an MF nib. So I don't have a fine nib just yet, but what I want to do is compare the tip of the nibs so you can see the difference between these nib sizes. Yeah, the EF is definitely pointier. And I'll just show you the M nib here as well. So just try to get that to focus. I absolutely love the M nib, by the way. So if you're thinking about it, I highly recommend give it a go. You can see that difference there. The M nib is much thicker than the EF, which is what we would expect. I'll just pop these two away for now, and I will ink up this Meigetsu pen with one of the cartridges. And while I do this, I guess I'll just talk about the Four Seasons range. It was released a few years back, but there's still plenty of stock available out there. And there are 4 different colours, just as the name would imply. So in the range, they have a sky blue one, a metallic dark green one, the Meigetsu, which you can see here, and also a white one. I believe the white one, when it was first released, it had speckles of red in the body to represent flowers, I think it was, but they now have it just in this white body, which is very beautiful and lovely, and it was because they couldn't source that material anymore, or at least that's what I read on Reddit. Okay, and now I am just going to write with some of my pens to compare the nib size, just so you can see what the extra fine in the Sailor pens looks like. And I have chosen here to write with this Hobonichi A6 Techo, and that is because it has Tomoe River paper and it is the white coloured paper as well. Not sure if you can hear that, but the pen definitely has that typical Sailor feedback, that kind of grey lead graphite pencil feeling. Love that. That's kind of the reason why I wanted to get the extra fine in the Sailor pen, but really only in the Sailor pen. I don't think I have any interest in getting an extra fine in any other branded pen. I might actually bring you closer so you can see this better. Just a moment. There we go. I hope that is clearer for you. As I was saying, I'm not too keen on getting another extra fine, at least in a Japanese nib, because I feel like it would be scratchy. That might not be true, but I'm also really satisfied with only having one extra fine. Just going to write with this Sarasa dry pen in 0.4, just so you can see the difference in the width of the writing. I would say it's probably just a touch thinner than the 0.4. I've also got my Sakura Pigma Micron felt tip pen here. I chose one of the thinner ones. It's the 01, which I believe is a 0.25mm felt tip pen. And you can see it's thinner than the Sailor Pro Gear Slim in the extra fine. Based on these, I would say the extra fine is about a 0.38. I have my medium fine Sailor pen here, but I think it might have run out of ink. Yep, it has. I will just ink this up, or at least dip it into the same ink it currently is now, which is the Sailor Shimoyo ink. Okay, so this is a medium fine Sailor nib, which is actually my favorite. And it is in the Pro Gear Slim. It is also a 14K nib. And I think it's quite clear that this one is thicker than the extra fine, which again we would anticipate. I don't have a Sailor fine to compare it against, but this is thicker. It shows more sheen and also shading if the ink has that property. So yeah, if you're playing with colors and shading, not shimmer, I wouldn't put a shimmer in my Sailors, but If you're after some color and shading, I would probably go with a thicker nib. I have a medium here as well, which is my Sailor Manyo Nuts pen. This is also a 14K nib. And this fountain pen is inked up with Van Diemen's Neptune's Necklace. So yeah, you can see a clear difference between the extra fine, medium fine, and also the medium. I can understand why they needed to bring in the medium fine pen as well, just so that it wasn't such a huge step from the fine and the medium. I'll just do some more lines closer together so you can see the difference here as well. So yeah, that is the extra fine. And comparing with the Sarasa 0.4 and the Sakura Pigma Micron 01, I would say it is somewhere between those two pens. I do have one more pen I can compare this with. Let me just grab it. So here we have the Sarasa Grand pen, but I actually have this one inked up with a Muji gel pen in the 0.38. Yep, I would say that is the closest match with what I've swatched here on this page, which is excellent. I actually did not anticipate that because I used this 0.38 Muji ink refill in my Hobonichi weeks, and if we're saying the Sailor Extra Fine is a 0.38, this could mean we have a new contender for my everyday carry pen. Something to think about. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for joining me in opening up my new Meigetsu Sailor Pro Gear Slim pen. I hope the swatches helped you understand the different nib sizes that Sailor has to offer. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. I have a few more unboxing videos for fountain pens coming up, so subscribe if you would like to see those. Until next time, bye!